Alright guys, we are back for an old school style of video. I want to, instead of like downloading footage or recording footage, we're just going to hop onto YouTube and show you guys kind of my thoughts. I want to talk about my most anticipated games of 2024, but I want to give you guys a shout out. If you come here to my content, you'll see we got a new video coming out today as I'm recording this, but I consider this kind of like the revival of the channel here in late November. As you can see here, videos were private or just very sporadic. I mean, you guys see a lot of these I didn't even go through with making public, or they're sitting there in draft just because they, you know, just didn't work out, weren't how I wanted them to be. This What Is Your Goal game ultimately got repurposed into Why Do People Collect Video Games, so I'm kind of happy about that one. But, I mean, you guys have been killing it since I started this new content. 62, 57, 1300, almost 1700 here, 250, 63, 584, and this one has gotten 39 comments. So thank you everybody who is watching and liking the new style. New Year's resolution video will be out again by the time you see this, and we're working on Switch 2 launch titles. I'm not sure if this one will be next or the Switch 2 launch titles will be next. And we've gained 19 or 20 subscribers. It kind of fluctuates depending on the day. We also started doing YouTube Shorts, and these have done really well. You guys have been commenting. You've been interacting with it. I mean, these ones that get a lot of views, they're going to get, you know, that's 4 thumbs up, 4 thumbs down. But okay, people are interacting with the video. We're taking clips from our full-length videos and turning them into shorts, where we've got the over and underrated series going on. So if you guys have any ideas for shorts you want me to do, let me know, because like this It's Up to You Mario was pulled from a Western Jazz Race Against the Clock. We also have been doing Post, and that's been getting some comments, and we've been getting responses. I assume that's votes. So, you know, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has helped us with this revival. I really want to hit 500 subscribers by the end of this year. We're going to try to keep up a pace that makes that realistic. I mean, getting 20 subscribers every month would be insane. You know, we would get there pretty easily. But okay, enough of that. Again, thank you to everybody who's joined us lately, because I'm starting to see old people who were from the original Wes and Jess days. That's really exciting to see some of you guys coming back. I'm seeing new people who are interacting with the polls. So again, if there's we do a lot of like Zelda and Mario in the polls, but if there's a game you want to see us talk about in the polls, or a console or an era, let me know, guys. But if you're just here for this and you don't really care about any of the other stuff, well, here we go. These are my most anticipated games, and I've said it before, I only own the Switch. I do have Steam, of course. So when I start thinking about new games, there's not a lot that overly excite me. We'll start with this Black Myth game. It's based off of Journey to the East, which has influenced things like Dragon Ball Z. And it's supposed to be a Dark Soul, or, you know, Souls-like game. Well, that's great. Get an ad immediately. That's okay. Supposed to be a Souls-like game, and I typically stay away from Souls-like games. They're, you know, I'm a guy who plays Super Mario and Kirby, and recently I've been getting into Klonoa and Chibi Robo. So when you tell me a game is Souls-like, it's kind of a turnoff to me. But I will say, people told me that the Star Wars Fallen Order game was Souls-like, so I avoided it and then played it on Game Pass and actually really enjoyed it. So I see this game, and it looks kind of cool. I'm not going to sit here and say I know a lot about it or anything. We can kind of click through and you can kind of see what people are meaning when they say Souls-like. So who knows if I'll actually like it. If I get a new Xbox and this comes to Game Pass, which I don't know if this is a PlayStation exclusive or not. That shows you kind of how out of touch I am with some of these new games, because I don't have a PS5 or a new Xbox. But this game does seem pretty cool. So maybe I'll look into it. Let me go ahead and pause it. Next up, we're going to talk about Final Fantasy Rebirth. Probably 2 years ago at this point, Final Fantasy VII was put on Game Pass, and I beat it. I didn't get all the achievements for it, but I definitely beat it. To me, the game is super polarizing. I would say maybe one of my hot takes in video games is that Cloud is maybe the most overrated main character that typically gets a lot of pushback. But when you play it all the way through, you kind of get it, why he's so popular. I mean, just look at him. But the more you play the game, I think Cloud is super lame. But I will not deny how awesome the Final Fantasy VII Remake looks. And they're saying it's almost a different game. So it's interesting to me to watch these characters that came out in the 90s get this HD overhaul, you know. So I'm really curious to play it. I did like the gameplay. It's the one of only 2 Final Fantasy games that I've actually beat, so I did enjoy it. I think it's... So don't let me just saying like Cloud's the most overrated main character distract you from the fact that I did really enjoy this game. Like I said, one of only 2 Final Fantasy games that I've played all the way through. Was able to hold my attention. I found the combat to be fun. And the characters, generally speaking, to be pretty darn good. So I would love to get a PS5 and jump in on this. I don't know if this is going to come out on the PS4 or not. Or if it's just a PS5 exclusive. Again, I'm a little out of touch with the Sony stuff. But I do have a Nintendo Switch, so I am excited to play some Switch games. And now Princess Peach Showtime is pretty interesting in that it's good to see her getting a video game. I think more of the Mario characters should get spin-offs. Donkey Kong has been kind of absent from getting a mainline game here in a while. But what I like about Princess Peach, and maybe you guys will see where I'm coming from, maybe you won't. It's like Balan Wonderland, where her abilities come from costumes, if I'm not misunderstanding it. She'll get, let's see. Can we see her in a costume? Right now she's just in her main get-up. Here we go. Sword fight. So now she's got a sword. So that one's pretty cool, right? Also, if you guys hear my daughter in the background, she's 1, so she likes to... She's watching Frozen, so she likes to holler at the TV. Here we go. We got Detective Peach. I think this is really cool. A lot of people were not fans of Balan, but I think Balan had a lot of great ideas with your powers coming from your costumes. And this game does seem like it's going to be a 2D side-scroller, which I'm not saying that kills it for me or anything. It'll probably be fine the way they'll design the levels and the costumes around the fact that it's a 2D game. So yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for this one. Moving on, I was going to do this one last because it's Paper Mario. Growing up, it was my favorite GameCube game, and for the longest time, it was my favorite game. I think during the 6th generation of gaming, this was probably my favorite game. There were some contenders such as Pokemon Coliseum would have been a big one. Kirby Air Ride would have been another big one. But this game blew my mind. I remember my dad taking me to antique malls, flea markets, that kind of thing. And this was the game I was always looking for. And I finally found it at an antique mall. This was probably 15 years ago, give or take. And, you know, it was one of the retro games that when I got back into collecting GameCube, I knew I had to have it. And I'm on the train level on my GameCube copy. I've lost a little luster in beating it on the GameCube because I know I'm getting it for the Switch this year. So it's kind of slowed me down from beating it on the GameCube. I don't know if I will because I think I'm going to wait and get it on Switch and start all over and do all that good jazz. So who knows? Maybe I'll go back and beat it on the GameCube. But anyway, I do really enjoy this game. It is honestly the game I'm probably most hype about this year. But A, it's a remake, and B, I think it's going to be a lot of people's option for Game of the Year. At least Nintendo people, right? So let's move on to some kind of like under-the-radar indie kind of stuff. This game looks awesome. This is the Plucky Squire. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get into the meat and potatoes of this game, but it's a game that hops between 2D and 3D, so you got a little Paper Mario, so you can kind of see why I like it. And, you know, he's a squire, so it kind of gives you... Not saying Link's a squire, but you got the sword and everything. But this game just looks awesome. So as you can see here, you got your 2D section. And eventually, we'll hop over into the 3D world, and you'll see why this game is super high on my list. Again, I'm not crazy into the Dark Souls and the lengthy RPGs. I mean, Persona 3 is getting a new game, and Happy Console Gamer talked about a lot of RPGs that are coming out that look good, but, you know, to me, this is a cool video game right here, the Plucky Squire. So as you can see, he jumped out of the storybook, and now he's in the kid's room like Toy Story. It's got shoot 'em up sections. I mean, this game looks awesome. I don't think this trailer kind of showed enough, but you get the idea. It really looks cool. I'm hoping this will be one that I pre-order. The last game I'm going to talk about today, I read from the creators of Sonic Mania. How cool is that? This is Penny's Big Breakaway. This is, from all I've seen, the big 3D platformer of the year. If you guys know another one, please let me know, because this was really about the only 3D platformer I could find. We're not going to watch the whole 18 minutes, but I do want you guys to be able to see why this looks so darn cool. She's got her little hook shot, so you get your Bionic Commando kind of vibe. Not hook shot, but yo-yo of sorts, I guess. And you can see how she's using it for platforming and combat, and she's also going to use it for speed. I don't know how long it's going to take to get to a section like that. And so there you go. I wasn't really sure at first when I was watching the trailer if this was going to be something I would play, because I thought the whole game was going to revolve around her riding her yo-yo. And you guys will learn that I'm not so much of a speed platformer. Sonic doesn't really appeal to me. I'm not trying to go like stupid fast in my platformers. I care more about like creativity and kind of the platforming, if you will, of it. And the more that I watch this trailer, the more I think, okay, this game could be something special. I mean, this dude's just kind of dirtling here, but this game looks super awesome. So Plucky Squire and Penny's Big Breakaway are definitely high on my list. I do like to support these. I don't know if this is indie or not. It's made by the people who made Sonic Mania, so I don't know what their budget was. But it's a new IP. This year has so many remakes. I mean, like I said, Persona, Final Fantasy VII, and Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, probably Metroid Prime 2, all going to be remakes this year and will probably be strong contenders for Game of the Year. So seeing just creative games like this is what gets me excited about the new games coming out. So let me know down below, guys, what games are y'all most excited for? In my opinion, it kind of feels like a down year for video games, but it's also January, so who knows? We'll get some later releases, you know, later on. Sega's got some stuff in the chamber. Nintendo's getting ready for their new console, so surely we're going to see some big games. Maybe Mario Odyssey 2 will be announced, who knows? But until then, these are the kind of games that I'm really excited for. So, like I said, down below, let me know what you're looking for. And we'll see if this year ends up being a good year for gaming. I just don't think it's going to have the top-end stuff to match last year's Zelda, Baldur's Gate, Spider-Man. I don't even remember at the moment all the stuff that came out. But last year was a pretty darn good year for gaming. This year just seems kind of so-so. Almost like Final Fantasy's going to kind of carry it this year. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Is this going to be a down year for gaming? I think I've talked long enough, guys. Like I said, thank you to all the new subscribers, all the new commenters, all the people interacting with the shorts and the post. I appreciate you guys. That's going to do it for me, and I'll see you guys in the next exciting video.